My fiancé wants his unemployed best friend to be our live-in caretaker after we buy a house. I refused, and now he's calling me cruel for not supporting his friend.
The suitcase zipper screamed like a wounded animal as I yanked it shut. Outside the half-unpacked living room of our new house, the one we'd just closed on 3 days ago, the rain lashed the windows. Inside, the silence was worse. It was the silence after the detonation. The silence where my fiancé stood frozen in the doorway, his face a mask of betrayal I was supposed to feel. "You'd really choose this over us?" he hissed, gesturing wildly at the suitcase. "Over me? Just because you couldn't handle having been around? You're cruel, Sarah, heartless." The word cruel hung in the air, sharp and poisonous long after he slammed the bedroom door. I sank onto the bare mattress, the smell of fresh paint and cardboard boxes suddenly suffocating. This wasn't how moving day was supposed to feel. This was the end, and it all started with a thermostat. Ben wasn't just Derek's best friend. He was Derek's shadow since high school. When Derek lost his dad senior year, Ben moved in with his family. Their bond was intense, and I respected it until we started house hunting. The first red flag was the thermostat. We were touring a craftsman bungalow, me mentally placing the sofa, Derek nodding approval. Ben, who'd just happened to be free, wandered into the pristine kitchen. Without asking, he cranked the thermostat from 68 to 74. "Too cold in here, man," he announced, wiping imaginary dust off the counter. I flinched. The seller watched him handle the thermostat like he owned the place. I shot Derek a look. He just shrugged. Ben's always been like that, just making himself at home. Making himself at home in a house we hadn't bought? I swallowed the protest. Be the bigger person. Then came the unsolicited help. We'd put an offer on this house, a sweet 2-bedroom with a tiny yard I dreamed of planting. Ben, 30, unemployed for 8 months after getting fired from his 3rd startup job, showed up uninvited to our celebration dinner. As we ate, he shoved his phone under Derek's nose. "Saw this teardown pop up. Way better backyard. You guys should counteroffer there." It was a sketchy neighborhood listed above asking price. My stomach dropped. "Ben, we love our house. We signed the contract yesterday." He waved a dismissive hand, spearing one of my dumplings. "Contracts are like suggestions, babe." Derek chuckled. "He means well, Sar. Just looking out." But Ben's eyes lingered on me, cold, like I was the obstacle. The final straw was visceral. I came home from a brutal 12-hour nursing shift to find Ben sprawled on our couch, bare feet on the coffee table, scrolling through my Netflix. "Hey, roomie," he grinned, not moving. Derek's grabbing beers. Helped myself to the shower. "Man, your shampoo's strong stuff." He sniffed his damp hair. My blood ran cold. My shampoo? In our bathroom? I checked later. My expensive bottle was sticky, nearly empty, sitting crookedly in the shower tray. Ben's cheap gel was nowhere in sight. I said nothing to Derek that night. I told myself it was exhaustion, but the violation was a stone in my gut. My patience wasn't patience. It was cowardice. Derek saw the tension, but his support was deflection. After the shampoo incident, I snapped, "Ben used my shampoo. He was in our apartment again without asking." Derek sighed like I was the difficult one. "Sarah, come on. He's been through hell. Lost his job months ago. Landlord kicked him out. He's crashing on couches. He's family." Family? We weren't even married. So he gets to treat our future home like a hostel? Derek's face shut down. "You're blowing this out of proportion. He's helping me decompress." That night, I overheard him on the balcony. "Just needs stability, man. Don't worry. I'll talk to her. She'll come around. She has to." The betrayal wasn't in the words. It was in the certainty that I'd bend. He'd already chosen his side.
The housewarming party was supposed to be our fresh start. Sunlight streamed through the new windows. I'd baked for 2 days. Ben arrived early, already 3 beers deep, wearing Derek's favorite band tee I knew he'd borrowed permanently. He commandeered the grill, despite knowing nothing about cooking. "Relax, babe, I got this," he slurred at me, shooing me away from the overcharred burgers. Every time I walked by, Ben adjusted something I'd arranged, moving the centerpiece, turning up the music I curated. Then, during a lull, my coworker Lisa complimented my nursing pin. "Sarah's been killing it at the hospital," she said warmly. Ben snorted loud enough for the patio to hear. "Yes, saving the world, right up until she clocks out to play house. Must be nice, getting paid to basically hold people's hands while Derek and I actually built this place." He gestured at the house. "All that saving lives crap doesn't pay the mortgage, does it?" The patio went quiet. Lisa's face flushed crimson. Derek stared at his shoes. Something snapped. I stepped into Ben's space, my finger pointing at the gate. "Get out, Ben." He smirked. "Make me, nurse." I didn't let him finish. My voice was ice. "You don't live here. You don't own here. You don't get to spit on my work in my home. Get out." Ben's smirk vanished. He threw his beer can down, spraying foam near Lisa's shoes, and shoved past me, muttering "crazy bitch" as he stormed out. The silence after Ben left was thick with discomfort. Derek pulled me aside behind the smoking grill. The smell of burnt burgers was mixing with his anger. His eyes weren't concerned. They were accusatory. "What was that, Sarah? You humiliated him. He's been homeless. He's my brother." "I insulted him in our house, on our day." "That's your fault. Because you couldn't handle one drunk comment? Ben's struggling, and you had to make a scene?" He took a step closer, voice dropping to a terrifying whisper. "This is it. You have two choices. You apologize to Ben, you welcome him back into our lives with open arms, or you walk out that gate right now and you don't come back. Ben comes first. He always has. If you can't accept that, then we don't have a future." I didn't say a word. I walked inside, past the awkward well-wishers, past Lisa's worried eyes, past the half-eaten cake I decorated with care. Now it was for leaving it behind. I packed quickly. Clothes, my nursing license, 6 years in the ER, Grandma's photo. The smell of fresh paint felt like a tomb. Derek's footsteps stopped outside the door. He didn't come in. He just stood there, silent, waiting for me to break. I zipped the suitcase. The sound was final. I walked out, past him without a glance. He didn't try to stop me, just watched, his face hard, already mourning Ben more than me. The rain soaked me instantly as I walked to my car. I didn't look back. I'm sitting in my sister's spare room now. The rain still drums on the roof. My hands won't stop shaking. Derek's texts flood in. "You're throwing away everything over pride. Ben's devastated. You're cruel, Sarah, just cruel." Was I cruel for wanting a home that was mine too? Or was the real cruelty in him expecting me, a woman who paid half the down payment, to live as Ben's unpaid caretaker? Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my fiancé's best friend colonize our marriage?
Update 1. He showed up with a black eye. Ben moved into my half of the house. Derek stood on my sister's porch last night, soaked, shivering, left eye swollen shut, not from tripping. Ben moved in, he choked out. He got violent, said I owed him rent for choosing you. He's in the house right now, living in your room. The truth. Ben wasn't unemployed for 8 months. He got fired twice in 3 weeks for stealing and threats. The homeless story? A lie. Ben stopped paying rent after Derek promised him a place. Derek covered $8,000 Ben stole from our joint savings for a pyramid scheme. Ben blackmailed Derek. "Tell her you stole the money, or I'll say she stole from patients." Last night's text from Ben, sent after I left. "Told you she'd cave. Pay up for keeping your secret." Derek, "What secret?" Then, "The 8K. Your fiancé thinks it's down payment, or I'll tell her you lied." What happened? I called the police for trespassing. Ben took my half of the house. Cops cuffed Ben as he screamed, "Stupid bitches!" Derek drove him to rehab. Derek's still protecting him. He's sick. He needs help. Ben's mom called me. "You broke my son." The same son who stole $2,000 from her. The photo Derek sent today. Our sunflower yellow living room, Ben's sneakers under my couch, a beer can on my table, and a sticky note. "Told you she'd leave. House is mine now. B." Derek wrote below, "I'm so sorry. I'll make it right."
The hard truth. I thought I was the cruel one for leaving. But Derek chose a thief who blackmailed him over me? When Ben's mask slipped, Derek still protected him. My question now, if Derek truly changes, pays back every dollar, sells the house, cuts Ben off, do I get a second chance, or is this bridge too burned? Am I the a-hole for believing some people don't deserve redemption? P.S. Ben's rehab center just texted Derek. It's a Costa Rica resort. He checked in. With Derek's credit card.